And so what I want to talk to you today about is the fact that if you wish to lead your audience anywhere, if you wish to make a profound impact in the lives of your children, if you want your staff members or your employees to be greatly influenced and live remarkable lives, then this isn't rocket science. It starts with you and me. And in many ways, what we're talking about is we're talking about living really authentic lives and a mentoring model where we write about the things that we're doing. We communicate what's working for us. We share out of our own lived experience the truth of the conversations we're having, of the work we're doing, of the new discoveries we're making, of the learning growing into. And if we don't do that, then what happens is we teach a lot of stuff, but nobody's going to listen. More than ever in the world of AI, what's going to truly transform the world is you and I living powerful lives and building our personal brands based on authenticity. You go to a kid's sports game, been to a few recently, and there are a bunch of dads who are largely overweight. They are pretty unfit. They are eating terrible food. And they're telling their 14-year-old, go for a run. And then they're saying, he never runs. And that's because I guarantee the 14-year-old is thinking, you first, Dad. You first. The first person we must lead is ourselves. You're right. And that's really empowering. And it actually makes the rest of the process, what you write, what you teach, what you share, it actually makes it pretty easy because you're talking from firsthand experience. And so, I thought I would mention here one of my 3-word goals, which is here to be a fully alive dad. And so we work a lot with 3-word goals, getting your goals so simple, so clear, so powerful, because one of the reasons people don't live the kinds of lives that they really wish they could live, or they don't reach their goals, is not that they don't have enough discipline, not that they don't have enough motivation, it's that they don't have enough clarity. At least that's been my experience, because I've had lots of goals in the past, but I've never done the work. I've been very clear as to what it is I need to do to get there. And so one of my 3-word goals, just to point out this idea of living authentically and you being the very first person that you work on, is my 3-word goal for my 2 children of being a fully alive dad. And so when you have a goal like that, then the question is, what does that look like? And so whatever your goal is and whoever you're trying to leave, whether it's to be a powerful people manager or a inspiring national writer, then say you wanted to have an inspiring Substack platform, right? Then the first person who has to live an utterly inspiring life is you. You can't sit there with a bag of chips and 2 dozen Coke and from your bed write very inspiring thoughts about exercise and be an authentic human being, right? You have to write about what's working for you. And wherever you are in your story, you can inspire people if you're choosing progress, if you're choosing healing, if you're choosing strength, if you're choosing vulnerability, if you're choosing whatever it is, what growth looks like for you from wherever you stand. That's how you inspire people. And so for me, if I decide, look, I want to be a fully alive dad, I have to acknowledge that I have not always been the most present and the most alive, that my life has got out of balance sometimes. And that's where you start to break them down. And so, just as an example for you to share, if you're a parent or an employee and you want to be the best an employer, and if you want to be the best employer, the best parent, you want to be the best author or runner of a platform, what do you have to do to get there? And so for me, I have 6 3-word goals under that hierarchy of being a fully alive dad. The first is I want my kids to see me with 12 beautiful friends. right? Why or how could I tell my kids, choose your friends carefully, your friends matter, you need to have good friends? Many parents do this, and yet our children never see us cultivate really healthy friendships. They don't listen to your words, they're watching your life and they're looking at your actions. And so for me, big goal, build 12 incredible friendships and let my children see me interacting in a healthy way with others. Same if you're an employer. How can you model healthy relationships for your employees? Second thing here for my kids is to model financial strength, right? How can I show them what it looks like to be good at making money, to be good at managing money? I can talk to them about it. I can buy them books about it, but what do they see when they look at me? And so then the third thing for me to be a fully alive dad is to have a world-class body. Will I be physically fit? I want my son, who's an incredible athlete. My daughter is an amazing dancer. They're 9 and 13, right? I want them to see me as an example of someone who's taking care of their physical body. None of that would matter if they looked at me and saw me not doing any of that. And so if you set a good example for your audience, for your employers, for your family, then it starts with us. If we want to change the world, if we are sick of the discourse, if we're sick of the lack of kindness in the world, we need to make a change. As a personal story, my daughter, when we were walking through a mall in the weekend, said, "Do you remember last Christmas?" She said, "There was a man and he was in the mall and he was running around taking food off people's trays when they were finished and he was eating it really quickly." She said, and Dad went up and he gave him $50 and he said to him, "I want you to get your own meal," or something like that. She goes, "It was so kind." And that man was so shocked. Like no one had ever given him money before. I'm modeling kindness for my daughter as much as I did it for that man. I did it for my children because they are watching. And so, however you want the world to change, you have to make that change in you first. It starts with us. And we need to get very clear as to what it is we wish to change or how it is we wish to grow. The change you wish to see in the world, the change you wish to see in your organization, the change you wish to see in your family, that's the change you wish to see in yourself. And so we need to pull that out of ourselves and make sure that we are very clear as to what we need to do to cause that change to occur. The fourth part for me of me becoming a more fully alive dad, when we set our 3-word goals, is I want to have a very warm fatherly presence. I grew up with a dad that struggled emotionally, and I can feel that sometimes too. So I literally have a checklist. Did I hug my kids today? Did I give them a compliment today? Did I give them the plan for the day so they have clarity, right? I want to be a warm fatherly presence because if I want the world to be warm, if I want the world to be caring, if I want the world to be kinder, surely we want these things, right? If you're watching this, are those things you want? Then it starts in our own homes. That's where it starts. We cannot let the outside noise of the world, the unkindness that's pretty much everywhere, we can't let that come in through the doors of our homes. We've got to let the goodness and the kindness in our homes go out through the windows and the doors into the world, right? And so it's very important that we start to lead ourselves and the people closest to us. The other goal I have as part of being a fully alive dad is I want to show my children what it looks like to pursue bold dreams. And if you're a dreamer on here, if you've got a Substack because you have a big goal with it, that's amazing and that's incredible because you're still dreaming, you're still hoping, you're still building, you're still going after stuff. And you want to cultivate that side of your life because our world needs people who are bold and who are brave, who are determined to make changes. And none of us would look at one of our own children if we have children, or grandchildren if we have grandchildren, or sibling if we have sibling, and go, you know what? I'd be real happy if you just had a really safe, average life. Just stay safe. Don't cause any trouble. Keep your head down. Get a 9 to 5. Be mostly bored in your life. And we normally say to our kids, if you have something in your heart, go after it. Give it a crack. live a big life. It's an adventure. But are we doing that ourselves, or are those just our words? And the reason we're not doing it ourselves is we've allowed the circumstances around us to dictate our future. We wouldn't want our children to do it. So it's time to lead ourselves into being big, bold, and brave. And then the last goal I have on my 3-word goals for being a fully alive dad is to live a fully unstifled life. I don't want my children to have to suppress their thoughts and their feelings and their personalities. I want them to be beautiful, expressive human beings. And the only way for them to become that is if they see it in me. And that's challenging because I picked up a lot of bad habits. And so when we think about the changes that we want to force upon or to encourage or to inspire or to teach or to preach or to transform things we wish to see in the world, we have to start with ourselves. And that's great. That's beautiful, because the last thing in the world that you want is to be a hypocrite. The last thing in the world you want is to have a massive audience that you're teaching or training or sharing or inspiring in certain ways, but to know deep down in your heart that you're not actually living out your own advice. That creates a lot of tension inside a human being. It's much better to be sharing and living out the things that you're trying and that you're doing and that are working for you and that are not working for you. And so I think the call of this time when it comes to building really powerful personal brands and using your voice on Substack, I think the call is to be fully authentic. The call is to really tell your story and share your story. It also separates you from AI generated content, which is very vanilla and beige and doesn't really stand out and has all the right words but no personality. The call is to use your own story in your own life and to be as dynamic and as bold and as beautiful as possible, especially if your children are watching, especially if you want to build a genuine relationship with your audience, especially if you have employees who need and want to grow. It all starts with us. Just type helpful if you want to know about our 3-word goals methodology, which has dramatically changed my life because now I have clarity as to what it is I want and who it is I am becoming. Then just type goals underneath this video or into the chat or DM me the word goals. I won't teach you anything that I'm not doing myself. To me, that's character. That's authenticity. That's what makes a difference in our world. So if you want to know about how to set your life up in a powerful way, 2026, I'm 100% down to help you. If all you get from this live is, man, I can make a big difference in the lives of others by just transforming myself and sharing the changes from wherever I'm starting, sharing that next step, and sharing what I'm believing and being a positive force for good in our world. If you have any questions, let me know. My goal is to continue to be as authentic as possible. So if you see me jump on another live shortly, jump on. We'll talk a little bit more about relationships. Thank you so much for the love and for the love hearts. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Substack's an amazing platform. Thank you, Substack. And we'll see you shortly. I'm going to just end this now.